so beautiful to see so many people here, and what an amazing energy in this church. The moment I walked in, I felt like today we're going to not just talk about mental, emotional and physical healing, but also spiritual, because that's very important. And the first thing I wanted to talk about is divinity, because we all have it inside us, and it's so important for us to recognize it, because when we do, not only does it bring up our vibration, but it starts to bring us to that space of joy. And I believe that spiritual path and healing in general has to bring you to that place of joy. It's one of the most important things. So what I'd like you to do is to just close your eyes for one more minute. I know you've just done that, but I'll try this again. And I'd like you to place your hands on your heart. And maybe even close your eyes. And just for a moment, recognize the divinity within you. And just become aware of your breath, of how you're breathing when you recognize that. And allow yourself to soften into the divinity. This is the part of us that knows how to heal. This is the part of us that helps us to not create in the world, but co-create. And it's so beautiful to co-create from the place of our own divinity, from the place of our wisdom, from the place of our love. And when you can truly feel that, and I'm sure every person who's here today can, it starts to open new doorways for you, new ways of looking at life, new ways of experiencing life. So I'd like to take one more really deep, soft, gentle breath and just thank yourself for being here today, for being open to this divine healing that we're going to talk about, for your own wisdom, for your own intelligence. Today when I woke up in the morning, I thought, okay, what is it that I'm here for? What is it that I would love to share with people today? And then I remembered that I had already sent the talk in, written up, these are the things that we're going to talk about. And I thought, okay, great. But part of being here is, on this planet, is that we have to plan sometimes, and we have to have things that we say we're going to do later on. And then things change. And I'm the kind of person that when it changes, it changes. So I'm not sure what you're going to hear today yet, but I hope that it's going to be something that is really inspirational to you. It's going to have aspects which I hope that your soul recognizes, that divinity, that soulfulness. Interestingly, this year, and I don't know who's felt this already, when this year started, something happened. There was a change. Has anyone felt that this year has a different vibration? Put up your hand if you have. Okay, quite a few people. And what I discovered that this year was all about soulfulness. This year is about connecting not only just to the emotional, mental and physical, but to the soul, and really experiencing what that feels like. Not just in the mind, that this is an interesting thing to have, but in the heart. And people are always saying to me, we talk from the heart, or this workshop, or this thing that we're doing is from the heart. And I feel like that's beautiful and it's nice, but this year we have an opportunity to bring the heart and the soul together. And that is powerful. So, in terms of healing, I totally believe that we can all heal. I believe that beyond any doubt, because I've had it. I've had the experience myself, but I have also seen it. I've seen it with thousands and thousands of people. I've seen it from people who've come to my workshops, from people who have come to the talks, from people who maybe have heard me the first time on the radio or television. And one of the reasons that I know that we can heal ourselves is because your heart beats without you standing or sitting there and going beat, beat, beat. If you cut your hand, it knows how to heal. Your blood knows how to flow. How does it know? There must be an intelligence inside you. So once we recognize that intelligence, we can go, okay, now I have choice. Because to heal, you have to know that you can heal. You've got to have choice. If you don't believe that you can heal, you have no choice, so you're not going to heal. When you have choice, you have to, there's that second aspect, a third aspect of it. You've got to have courage and faith. In courage and faith, what it means is that you've got to step outside the box. And I believe that to step outside the box of what everybody else believes or all the people around you believe, you have to go, you know what? I don't want to have an ordinary life. I would like to have a really extraordinary life, extraordinary experience of what does it feel to truly be alive here. To feel like I am not just surviving, things are not just happening, but I'm living. I'm really fully vibrating and joyfully connecting to what is. I talk a lot about courage and intuition. I believe that in order for us to understand healing, the courage is to take that step to go, you know what, I'm ready to discover who I truly am. And when you take that step, you can't step back afterwards. You can't go, I'd like to know who I am, please show me, but as it starts to come to you, run away. You maybe before people could do that, but not in this new vibration. In this new vibration, as you step in and recognize who you truly are, which is the divinity within yourself, you can't move back, you can only move forward. And as you take that step, and that step is not a mental experience, it's a really soulful experience. It's like reaching out to who you truly are. And as you take those steps, you start to discover that healing does not mean that you just release some pain from the body. The actual definition of healing, and this is from my perspective, is wholeness, which means that every aspect of you, whether it's a physical aspect, whether it's a spiritual, whether it's emotional, whether it's energetic, genetic, cellular, whatever it is, needs to be taken into consideration. So how do we do this? The first thing, after you've taken the courage to take the step, is to actually be open. It's to go, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what experience I'm going to have. But I'm willing to let go of my skepticism, of what I don't believe or what I do believe or what somebody else has taught me or not taught me. And I'm willing to discover the wisdom within myself. So just for today, or just for this next hour and a little bit, I'd like you to give yourself that permission. To give yourself the permission for discovering the extraordinary within yourself. For letting go of whatever beliefs, ideas, ways that you have been. And just for this next hour, go, you know what? I'm just going to be open to whatever happens, to wherever comes to me today, whether it's an insight that I have today, or whether it's the most deepest, the most profound healing experience. So again, I'd like you to place your hands on your heart. And it's really important to connect in this way, because when you touch yourself, your brain actually starts to recognize that you are connecting, and it starts to give you messages. And it starts to bring your body alive. So I'd like you to give yourself that permission just to be open for anything, ordinary or extraordinary or the most divine. Let's see what happens. When so many people are gathered together in one room, focused on healing energy, miraculous things can happen. And I'd like you just to focus on the fact that you are open to receiving this healing energy. Because it's one thing to give it, or it's one thing to recognize it, it's another thing to actually go, you know what, I'm really going to receive this with my heart and soul. And just become aware of how joyful it starts to feel when you connect to who you are. When you start to, and I'd like you not just to connect, but to start to soften. And I love this word, soften. It's like there is a gentleness, a gentle softening. And whatever tension that is stored in your heart at the moment, I'd like you just to allow it to dissolve, just softly, and something else, something that is beyond that tension, beyond that stress or fear, whatever you may have experienced in your life. Let that touch you, let it come out. And as you're focusing on it, it may look to you, if you're visual, it may look like a color, or it may look like a symbol, whether it's a flower or a tree growing or whatever it is. Or you may just get a feeling of it, of something deeper inside yourself that maybe you have connected to, maybe you have not. But let's go even a little bit deeper than you have connected. There's something divine inside you. And you have come today, each one of you, for a reason here. And so I'd like you to ask that divine intelligence inside of you. Because unless we ask, we cannot receive. So whatever your reason for coming here, whether it is to learn more about healing, to open up to your spirituality, or just curiosity, whatever it is, I would like you to ask for an answer, whether it comes today or another day, doesn't matter, to whatever the reason that you came here for. Whether it's opening your heart more, connecting, finding a partner, whatever it is, healing a relationship, healing something inside yourself that has been hurting. Just be open today or next week or in the next year for this healing, this wholeness to come inside you. And your intention for healing is so powerful. And when this intention happens with other people, it's even more powerful. And in the morning when I woke up, my prayer today was to ask that every single person who needs to connect to this healing or to this divine energy come here today. That there was no coincidences or accidents for you to be here. That you were here because my soul and the soul of the universe has invited you to be here. And something inside of you has recognized that invitation and has said yes. And to say yes to your soul is so powerful. To take the step towards it. And when you do take the step towards it, it takes a step towards you. So as you're doing this little process of healing, which is kind of spontaneous because I haven't done it like that before, I would like you to recognize that, to recognize, wow, my soul brought me here today. And I'm ready to receive whatever wisdom or healing that is offered to me from the soul, from the heart. And when you have done that, you can relax your hands.